Hey guys, Zach here from MixChecks.com. Welcome back to this free gospel mixing course. So today we're going to be adding, I'm going to call it depth to the mix because of the whole Chris Lord algae adding depth to the mix with waves. But before this, in my other mixing courses, you'll see me call it adding space to the mix. Basically, it's just adding reverb, room sounds, that kind of thing. So today we're going to be adding depth or space, whatever you want to call it, to this gospel mix. So let's jump right in. Okay, picking up where we left off. We have our song pretty much mixed, but we're going to add some room sounds to the instrumentation. Oh, no, whenever I say pretty much mixed, I mean the instruments are pretty much mixed. We haven't touched the vocals yet. So my technique for adding just an extra layer of glue to the track is just to send some things to a room reverb that I like. And so we are going to pull that up right now. And I think I'm going to start with the snare. So just bust that to the room verb. Then the way I do it is grab my space designer, mono to stereo. And then aside from plug-in option anxiety causing you to lose efficiency in your mixes, always trying to find the best plug-in or whatever, reverb is also another way that'll happen to you, because you'll always try to go through all these reverbs and figure out which one is the best for the mix. But if you watch the pros do it, or even Chris Lord Algae just came out with another video with waves about mixing with depth, and he talks about how he has just set reverbs that he basically uses all the time. And I found that's the easiest way to mix, because then you don't get to your reverb selection stage and have 1,000 options and you just sit there for an hour trying to pick a reverb. I mean, how efficient is that? So I tend to bypass and skip over all these stock Apple ones, go to this Bricasti one, impulse responses, which is actually one of the ones that Chris uses in his studio. He has a Bricasti. And then for my room sounds, there is some testing involved, but I try to stick with these Bricasti ones and then just kind of experiment a little tiny bit. So for this one, let's see what this large and room sounds like. Wow, this one's going to be big. And I'm going to turn the pre-delay up a little bit to leave some of that dry sound in there. Turn the wet all the way up, dry all the way down since it's on a bus. And then also, I always like to EQ everything out of the reverb bus that I don't want. So I do not want any lows coming out of my reverb. So I'm going to high pass that. I don't want any 500 range being added to my mix from the reverb, so I'm going to remove that. And then I don't want any crazy highs coming through. And then I just like to adjust the curve of this a little bit so it's not so sharp. And I do that on every reverb bus that I use. So now let's see what this reverb is sounding like. Oops. Getting heavy on this mix, I guess. All right. Okay, I'm liking that reverb. We're going to use that one for now and just kind of put it on some key instruments here. And when it comes to kick, I'm only going to slightly send that top kick there. I'm not going to send any sub kick though. I do not want the sub kick going to my reverb, and it would mostly just be chopped off in that filter anyways. And just barely kiss the reverb. I don't want a lot of kick going to it. Okay, so this is the reverb bus by itself. It's just adding a little bit. I kind of liked how this mix was sounding dry, but I still wanted that little bit of extra glue to kind of tie all the instruments together. So it's really subtle, but I'm liking it so far. Okay, so we're gonna mute it and unmute it to kind of hear what it's adding. There's muted. Muted again. Okay. And that's pretty much it for adding space to the mix. Nothing too complicated. Just make sure you do not spend a crap ton of time selecting a reverb. It's not worth it. And always EQ your reverb bus, please. That is the easiest way to muddy up a mix, is letting your reverb go untamed. So I will see you guys next video.